I never planned to find it again. That letter, my handwriting slightly messy, the ink faded at the edges like an old summer dream. It was hidden in a cardboard box with my school certificates, a broken watch, and a few movie tickets I once thought I'd keep forever. Funny how the smallest things carry the biggest memories. It happened last weekend when I decided, finally, to clean the closet in my parents' house. I pulled out dusty boxes and opened each one carefully, like I was unwrapping pieces of a forgotten version of myself. Then I saw it, a folded paper wrapped in a simple ribbon. I knew instantly what it was. The letter I never sent, the letter I wrote for her, for Anna. I sat on the floor, daylight streaking through the window, turning every dust particle into a tiny star floating in the air. I hesitated for a moment, afraid that opening the letter might change something inside me, wake up old feelings, new regrets. But curiosity was stronger. Memory was stronger. I untied the ribbon and unfolded the page. There it was, the voice of my 17-year-old self, overflowing with excitement, nerves, and all the emotions boys pretend not to have. I had written that she made school mornings feel like promises, that hearing her laugh felt like the best song ever written, that I admired the way she dreamed out loud, unafraid of the future. Even now, reading those words, I could see her again as clearly as the blue sky we walked under. Her ponytail bouncing when she ran, the freckles across her nose, the way she talked with her hands like every sentence was a story she couldn't wait to finish. I smiled, not with sadness, not with longing, just a quiet, grateful smile. Anna was my first love, the kind of love that teaches you how to love. And even though I never gave her that letter, maybe I didn't need to. Maybe she already knew. I kept reading, feeling warmth spread through me. One thought kept returning. Who I am today began with her. That day, sitting on the floor surrounded by the past, I realized something important. Some memories don't need an ending to stay beautiful. We met on the first day of summer break, the kind of day that smelled like fresh grass and new beginnings. I remember standing outside the local bookstore, waiting for a friend who was, as always, late. She arrived instead. Anna. She wasn't someone who entered a scene quietly. She came flying down the street on her old green bicycle, her hair escaping from under her helmet like sunlight breaking through clouds. She jumped off, almost losing balance, and laughed at herself. That laugh, playful, free, completely unbothered by the world, that was the moment everything changed for me. She looked up, saw me staring, and smiled like we were already friends. "Can you watch my bike for a second?" she asked. I nodded, trying not to look like a statue. When she came back out of the store, holding 2 ice creams instead of books, she handed one to me. "You look like you need this more than I do," she said. We sat on the curb, talking about everything and nothing. Movies, our favorite places to hide from homework, her dream of becoming a photographer, my fear of speaking in front of the class. With Anna, silence never felt awkward. It felt like comfort, like music waiting for lyrics. That summer became ours without us even deciding it. We went swimming in the lake. We shared secrets under the stars. We raced each other up the hill. She always won. She believed in happy endings and making wishes at 11:11. I didn't believe in anything until I met her. Sometimes we held hands. Sometimes we didn't. It didn't matter. We were too young to define it, but old enough to feel it deeply. And every night when I got home, I'd write down the things I didn't dare to say aloud. Those thoughts slowly became the letter I never sent. Looking back, I think first love is like summer itself. Bright, short, unforgettable. You don't notice the warmth until it's gone. But at 17, with Anna by my side, I thought summer would last forever. The letter began on a night when the world felt too big for my feelings. I had just walked Anna home from the lake. We'd spent the evening skipping stones and talking about dreams. Hers were loud and colorful. Mine were quiet and unsure. At her door, she turned and whispered, "I'm glad we met." Then she ran inside before I could answer. I walked home with a heart that felt too full to beat properly. Every step carried one thought. I need to tell her. Tell her everything. So I sat at my desk with a pen I only used for important things, though nothing had ever felt more important than this. And I wrote. I wrote that she made my world brighter. That her laughter stayed with me long after she left. That I checked the clock every day, counting the minutes until I'd see her again. I wrote that she made me brave. Brave enough to dream. Brave enough to hope. Brave enough to believe that maybe someone like her could care about someone like me. I told her that summer suddenly felt like a promise, one I never wanted to end. Line after line, I tried to capture everything. The way she smelled like strawberries and adventure. The way she talked as if every tomorrow was already wonderful. The way her presence erased every bad day I'd had before she came into my life. By the time I stopped writing, it was midnight. Crickets were singing outside. The whole world felt soft and possible. I read the letter again and again. It felt too honest, too real, too much. What if she laughed? What if she pulled away? What if I ruined everything good by wanting more? So instead of placing the letter in her mailbox, I folded it carefully and hid it under my shirts, a secret I wasn't ready to share. In the morning, she greeted me with a smile that made my heart stumble, and I realized something. Loving her from silence still felt like the most beautiful thing I had ever done. I kept the letter close, and with every day that passed, it felt heavier. Not with regret, but with everything I felt and couldn't say. Summer always feels endless until the moment it ends. That morning, the air already smelled different, cooler, quieter. Like the season was slowly packing its bags. We met by the old lake one last time. The water was still, reflecting the sky like a mirror. Anna arrived wearing her favorite yellow sweatshirt, the one with paint stains from the art club. She dropped her bike on the grass and sat beside me, knees pulled to her chest. "Can you believe school starts tomorrow?" she asked. I tried to laugh, but the sound came out thin. We didn't do anything special. No big speeches, no dramatic promises. We just talked, letting the minutes stretch. Sometimes we would fall silent, staring at the water, knowing that silence was also part of our story. When the sun began to set, she stood up and brushed the grass from her jeans. "Well," she said softly, "this was the best summer of my life." My chest tightened. Not with pain, with gratitude. We walked back toward the town, our shoulders bumping now and then. At her gate, We stopped. She looked at me in that way she had, direct, genuine, unafraid. "I hope," she said, "that you always chase the things that make you happy." "Like you?" I joked, trying to keep my voice steady. She laughed and nudged my arm. "Like anything," she replied, "and anyone." Then she reached up and gave me a small, brave kiss on the cheek. Warm, quick, perfect. "I'm glad we met," she whispered again. This time I answered immediately. "Me too." She waved, ran inside, and the porch light clicked on, a bright dot in the blue evening. I stood for a moment, memorizing everything: the glow of the sky, the sound of crickets, the shape of her silhouette behind the window. That was it. No heartbreak, no tears, just the gentle end of something beautiful. I walked home with the letter still hidden in my drawer, knowing now why I didn't give it to her. Some feelings are meant to live in the heart, not on paper. And some first loves are meant to stay perfect, untouched by what comes after. I still keep that letter. Not because I'm holding on to the past, but because the past is holding on to me, gently, kindly, like a friend who reminds you where you came from. Life moved forward. I went to university in another city. I made new friends, traveled, fell in love again. I built a career, a home, a life full of chapters Anna was never part of. And yet, she was always there on the first page. Sometimes I think about her, not with longing, but with warmth. I wonder if she still paints her sneakers with wild colors. I wonder if she still rides a bicycle too fast, laughing as the wind tries to catch her. Wherever she is, I hope she collected many summers brighter than the one we shared. Finding the letter brought something back I didn't realize I'd missed. The boy I used to be. A boy who believed that every sunrise was a chance, that a smile from the right person could change the weather inside him. That love was simple because it was honest. I read that handwriting now and smile at my younger self, brave in all the quiet ways. Maybe the letter wasn't meant for Anna. Maybe it was meant for me, years later, to remind me that I am capable of big feelings and gentle words. I folded the letter, tied the ribbon again, and placed it back into the box. Not to forget, but to honor what it gave me. First love didn't define my life, but it shaped my heart. It taught me to notice the small moments, the ones that matter more than anything else. A shared ice cream on a curb, a laugh on a windy hill, a kiss that says more than any paragraph ever could. And so, the letter stays. Not as a reminder of what I lost, but as a celebration of what I gained, a story that helped me grow into someone who knows how to love, truly, kindly, fully. Some letters are never sent because their purpose isn't to arrive. It's simply to exist. And some loves, even when brief, last a lifetime in the best possible way, as a beautiful beginning.